You know how they say the truth always comes out eventually? Well, sometimes it takes a little longer than expected, especially when it comes to celebrities. But at 62, Johnny Depp has finally admitted something that we all kind of suspected for a while. And it's definitely going to make you look at him in a whole new way. If you've been following Johnny Depp over the years, you're not alone. The drama surrounding him has been intense, from the highs of playing Jack Sparrow in Pirates of the Caribbean to the lows of his public battles. There's never been a dull moment with this guy. We've all watched as his career has had its ups and downs, and personally, his life has been under the microscope. It's hard not to get swept up in all the noise. But here's the thing, Johnny has just dropped a bombshell about his life, and honestly it makes a lot of sense once you hear it. Now, what did he actually admit? Well, Johnny recently sat down for an interview and said something that's kind of huge. He said, "I've been misunderstood." And if you think about it, that makes total sense, right? With everything he's been through, from the wild rumors to the court battles, it's easy to see how people could get the wrong idea. But here's the kicker. Johnny admitted that for a long time he was putting on a bit of a show. And we're not talking about his movie roles. He said he's been playing a role in real life too. Not in front of the camera, but to protect himself from all the chaos going on around him. Think about it. Johnny Depp, the guy we all see as this eccentric, rock star-like figure who doesn't care what people think. Yeah, turns out there's a lot more going on behind the scenes. And it's not that he's been fake, but he's been hiding parts of himself to deal with all the madness. And now, at 62, he's ready to own up to it. It's actually kind of refreshing when you think about it. We all have moments in our lives where we feel like we have to pretend to be something we're not, whether it's because we're trying to protect ourselves or we think that's what people expect from us. Johnny's been living that way for years, but now he's done with the act. He's showing us the real him. And honestly, that's something a lot of us can relate to. I mean, who hasn't felt like they had to put on a mask to fit in or avoid getting hurt? But what does this really mean for Johnny Depp? Well, it changes the narrative a bit, right? For years, we've seen him as the guy who doesn't care, the rebellious star who's always in the news for something wild. But now he's admitting that it was never just about that. It was about survival. He didn't want the world to see the cracks. Now he's done hiding and ready to share the real story, and that's where things get interesting. If Johnny Depp is ready to let his guard down, it could mean a whole new chapter for him, both in his personal life and his career. We could be looking at a Johnny who's ready to step back into the spotlight, but this time on his own terms. Maybe he's done with the big Hollywood blockbuster roles and is ready to take on something more meaningful. Maybe we'll see him behind the camera next, directing a movie or telling his own story in a way we've never seen before. Whatever comes next, you can bet it's going to be different from what we're used to. And here's the thing, Johnny's admission doesn't just come out of nowhere. There's been a lot of chatter in the media about his future, and some insiders are saying that this could be his way of clearing the air and preparing for a comeback. We know he's got a loyal fan base, and now it looks like he's ready to show a new side of himself that's more real and less about the public persona. His quote, "It's not the world that's crazy, it's the people in it," really hits home. After everything he's been through, that's the mindset he's taking into this next chapter. But what does this mean for us, the fans? Well, we've seen Johnny go through so much over the years. His career, his personal life, it's been a roller coaster. But now we're getting to see him step out from behind the mask and really take control of his own story. That's something we've all been waiting for. We've been fans of his for so long, and now it feels like we're finally going to get the full picture. The question is, what's next for Johnny Depp? What will he do with this new chapter in his life? And how will we as fans be a part of it? Johnny Depp's life, as we all know, has been anything but ordinary. His journey has been a roller coaster of highs and lows, filled with some of the toughest challenges anyone could imagine. From the moment he became a household name, it seemed like the world was always watching, waiting for the next big thing. He didn't just step into the spotlight, it felt like he was thrust into it with a force that has never let up. Throughout his career, Johnny has faced countless public scandals. We've all seen it, the headlines, the rumors, the court cases. Some have painted him as a misunderstood artist, others as a troublemaker. But what most people don't see is the toll that constant scrutiny takes on a person. Johnny's been caught in the crossfire of messy divorces, personal battles that were played out in the courtrooms, and a media frenzy that seemed to amplify every step he took. Each new controversy seemed to add more weight on his shoulders, pushing him further into the glare of public attention. On top of all of that, Johnny's personal life has been an emotional battlefield. He's dealt with heartbreaks, friendships lost, and relationships strained. These are the kinds of things that can break anyone, especially when you're constantly under a microscope. But despite all of this, Johnny has managed to maintain a surprising level of privacy, a feat few other celebrities have managed. While others might have turned to social media or public statements to clear their names or fuel the drama, Johnny has taken the opposite approach. He stepped back from the limelight, refusing to let the noise define him. In many ways, Johnny has mastered the art of keeping a low profile, even while living a life that, on the surface, seems anything but quiet. His ability to maintain a sense of mystery amidst the chaos speaks volumes about his character and the complexity of his situation. And through all of it, he's remained grounded, choosing when to speak and when to remain silent, proving that sometimes silence is the loudest statement of all. Let's take a step back for a moment and really think about the kind of pressure he's been under. Johnny Depp, for decades, has been one of the most famous actors in the world. From Pirates of the Caribbean to Edward Scissorhands, his roles have made him a beloved figure in pop culture. His fans are some of the most loyal you'll find, and his talent is undeniable. But with fame comes a level of visibility that's impossible to ignore. When you're constantly in the public eye, every little detail of your personal life is scrutinized. For someone like Johnny, who is known for his private nature and tendency to avoid the spotlight off-screen, that level of attention must have been exhausting. After all, not everyone is built to handle the media frenzy that comes with being one of the world's biggest stars. Johnny's been through the ringer, from the infamous divorce battle with actress Amber Heard, to the lawsuits, financial struggles, and even the public accusations that followed. But here's where it gets interesting. Throughout all the chaos, Johnny kept a surprisingly low profile. He didn't lean into the drama like some celebrities would. He wasn't constantly feeding the tabloids with stories or engaging in public spats. Instead, he mostly kept to himself, staying out of the limelight as much as possible. And when he did step out into the public eye, it was often to make a rare appearance on stage, or to make a statement that was, for the most part, direct but minimal. So why did Johnny go so quiet when so much was happening around him? There are a few reasons, and they make a lot of sense when you really think about it. First, he was likely trying to protect his family. Johnny has always been a fiercely private person, especially when it comes to his children and the people he cares about. When your personal life is on full display for the world to see, it can feel like you're under a microscope. He probably didn't want to expose his family to any more media scrutiny than they were already facing. Imagine being in his shoes. You're already dealing with enough personal drama, and the last thing you'd want is for your loved ones to be dragged into it. Johnny's children, his ex-partners, and even his close friends have all had to navigate the fallout from his public battles. For someone who's always been protective of those he loves, stepping back and keeping a low profile may have felt like the only way to shield them from the firestorm around him, but it wasn't just about protecting his family. There's also the element of Johnny wanting to distance himself from the noise. After facing years of legal battles and public accusations, it's easy to see why Johnny would want to retreat. Who wouldn't? The relentless media cycles, the harsh judgments, and the never-ending rumors can take their toll on anyone, no matter how strong they are. Johnny, for all his eccentricities, is still human, and like anyone else, he needs space to heal and recover. Taking a step back from the public eye probably helped him process everything he was going through without the added pressure of 1,000 cameras snapping at him every time he stepped outside. And yet, despite all this, Johnny never truly disappeared. He kept a low profile, yes, but he also continued to work, to create, and to connect with his fans in subtle ways. Whether it was through his music or his occasional appearances, Johnny didn't let the struggles define him completely. He found ways to keep going, even when the world seemed to be collapsing around him. And that's where the courage comes in. Facing the chaos, the backlash, and the accusations head-on would have been the easy way out. He could have leaned into the drama, responded to every accusation, and tried to fight back against every criticism. But instead, Johnny chose a different path. He chose to focus on the things that truly mattered to him, his craft, his art, and the things that brought him peace. He took a step back, reevaluated what he wanted out of life, and decided that he wasn't going to let the world dictate his narrative. That's not to say that Johnny didn't face his demons or that he hasn't struggled. He's gone through a lot of painful moments behind closed doors. But instead of confronting those struggles through the media or social media rants, he kept things more private. And in doing so, he preserved some of his dignity and his peace of mind. He didn't get caught up in the noise even when everything seemed to be falling apart. And now, as he stands ready to face the world again, that's the kind of courage that's worth admiring. There's also something else to consider here. Johnny's willingness to be vulnerable. After everything he's been through, he could have easily gone into hiding and never come back. Many celebrities who face similar situations disappear for years only to slowly fade from public consciousness. But Johnny Depp didn't do that. Instead, he chose to come back, and more importantly, he chose to come back as himself. The real Johnny Depp. He's been through enough. And now it seems like he's ready to embrace who he really is without fear of judgment. In the world of Hollywood, where perfection is often expected, admitting that you've struggled, that you've faced challenges, and that you're human can be a revolutionary act. For Johnny Depp to step forward and say, "I'm ready to face it all," is not just about overcoming public battles, but also about reclaiming his narrative. After years of being painted with different brushes, the misunderstood genius, the troublemaker, the victim, the villain, Johnny is now ready to be seen for who he truly is, and that kind of courage is rare. In a world where we're constantly told to hide our flaws and put on a brave face, Johnny's decision to face everything head-on is something we can all learn from. It's easy to shy away from the spotlight when things get tough, to retreat into the shadows and hope the world forgets about you. But Johnny Depp isn't doing that. He's stepping back into the world on his own terms and showing us what it means to stand tall even after everything that's happened. Johnny Depp's return to the spotlight, with all of its complexities, isn't just about his career. It's a moment of personal triumph. A man who's been through so much, yet never gave up on the things that matter most to him. He's ready to move forward, to embrace the future, and to show us all that even when the world tries to break you, there's always a way to stand up again. And for that, Johnny Depp deserves not just our admiration, but our respect. Here's where it gets even more interesting. Johnny Depp is known for his love of art, his eccentric personality, and his refusal to fit into the typical Hollywood mold. But all of that, all the wild rumors and rebellious moments, it's all been part of this larger narrative that he's been playing into. And now it seems like he's ready to rewrite that narrative, to show us a new side of himself. And that's something we're all going to want to see. And here's something you might not know. Sources close to Johnny have hinted that he's not done with Hollywood just yet. In fact, he's got some major projects lined up, and it looks like he's going to make a big splash with them. This is his time to take the reins, to control the narrative for himself. And knowing Johnny, it's going to be something worth watching. As fans, we've seen Johnny Depp go through a lot. But now, we're seeing him step into his own truth. He's not just some misunderstood artist anymore. He's owning his mistakes, his flaws, and his journey. And it's inspiring. He's showing us that it's okay to be vulnerable, to admit when we've been hiding parts of ourselves, and to finally say, "This is who I am." It's a reminder that we're all human. Even the biggest stars. So what's next for Johnny Depp? Who knows? But one thing's for sure, we're in for an exciting ride. And now that he's opened up about his journey, we can't wait to see where he goes next. Maybe this is the start of a whole new chapter in his career and his life. Maybe it's the fresh start he's been waiting for. But let's turn it over to you. What do you think about Johnny Depp's big reveal? Do you feel like you understand him a little more now? Or do you think it's just another twist in the long, strange story of Johnny Depp? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to hear what you think. And if you're enjoying this deep dive into Johnny Depp's life, make sure to check out my other videos on his career. his most controversial moments, and everything in between. Trust me, you won't want to miss it. Before you go, don't forget to hit that like button if you enjoyed this video, and if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel for more exclusive updates and celebrity news. We've got plenty more coming your way. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.